The oppressive weight of John Sugden's crimes still suffocates Emmerdale, a toxic residue clinging to every stone and every heart. Yet, even as the village reels from the recent revelations and the brutal losses at the quarry, a new, insidious threat now lurks in the shadows. John, the architect of so much pain, is not merely on the run, he is a predator unleashed, driven by a twisted desire for ultimate revenge and a chilling addiction to playing the hero, even if it means orchestrating his own grand escape. Who will fall victim to his desperate machinations now? What impossible choices will be forced upon those caught in his web? Prepare yourselves, for the next chapter of Emmerdale plunges deeper into the murky waters of blackmail, betrayal, and a perilous game of cat and mouse where the stakes have never been higher, and the very fabric of family loyalty will be tested to its absolute breaking point. The pre-dawn gloom hangs heavy over Emmerdale, a fitting curtain for the clandestine movements of a monster. John Sugden, no longer merely a villain but a phantom of malevolence, navigates the village's winding paths with a chilling precision. His mind, a labyrinth of self-justification and warped heroism, buzzes with a desperate energy. The thrill of being hunted, of orchestrating his own escape, fuels his twisted psyche. He is not fleeing, he is preparing for his grand finale, a final, devastating act of revenge against Robert Sugden, the man who dared to expose his fragile facade. Clutched in his hand, a syringe loaded with poison, its clear liquid shimmering like a deadly promise under the faint glow of distant streetlights. He envisions Robert's face, contorted in agony, his last breath a testament to John's ultimate victory. Keeper's Cottage, the very place he once sought solace, now serves as his hidden lair, a temporary sanctuary before the final strike. As the first tendrils of true morning light pierce the darkness, John slips into Keeper's Cottage, the air inside still, heavy with a lingering scent of past lives and forgotten conversations. He moves with the stealth of a predator, his senses acutely aware of every creak and rustle. He finds his chosen vantage point, a shadowed alcove overlooking the main living area, the syringe a cold comfort in his hand. He meticulously wipes down a tip, a ritualistic preparation for the act he believes is his destiny. He waits, a coiled spring of vengeful anticipation, for Robert to return. This is not merely an escape, it is a meticulously planned act of retribution, a final, theatrical flourish in his warped narrative of victimhood and heroism. Unbeknownst to John, the village outside is a maelstrom of fear and confusion. Police patrol the streets, their presence a stark reminder of the danger lurking among them. Tracy, though still reeling from Caleb's tragic death and the horrific revelations of John's journal, finds herself a reluctant hero, her testimony now central to the manhunt. She struggles to articulate the full scope of John's depravity, the way he meticulously crafted his accidents, swapping Jacob's drink to trigger an allergic reaction, drugging Ches, whacking unsuspecting victims over the head, all to fulfill his sick need to be the savior. She recalls the agony of Robert and Aaron's confession, the raw pain in their voices as they revealed their indiscretion, an act that, in John's twisted mind, justified his spiraling descent into vengeful madness. The memory of Nate's slow, agonizing death, disguised as an allergic reaction, burns within her, fueling her resolve to see John brought to justice. Meanwhile, a fragile truce holds between Aaron and Robert. Robert, recovering from his injuries, is consumed by guilt over Caleb's death, a heavy burden that threatens to break him. He looks at Aaron, his heart heavy with unspoken apologies, his mind replaying Caleb's final, protective lunge. Aaron, his grief still raw, struggles to reconcile his fury with his lingering love for Robert. The revelation that John's descent into increasingly desperate acts was triggered by their shared night together gnaws at them both. It adds a chilling layer of responsibility, a terrifying understanding of how deeply their lives are intertwined with John's psychosis. Aaron, despite his pain, feels a desperate need to protect Robert, knowing that John's ultimate revenge is aimed squarely at his ex-husband. He can still hear John's chilling threat, recounted by Robert. He's on the run, ready with a syringe loaded with poison intended for Robert Sugden as he plans his ultimate revenge on his rival. Back at Keeper's Cottage, the silence is shattered by the sound of approaching voices. Robert and Victoria, unaware of the venomous presence lurking within, approach the front door. John, hidden in the shadows, tenses, his hand tightening around the syringe. This is it. His moment of ultimate triumph. He hears Victoria's voice, a casual remark that cuts through his carefully constructed fantasy. "Do you think John really cared for us at all, Robert? I mean, all those times he saved us. Was it just a game?" Her innocent question, spoken with a touch of lingering doubt, pierces John's carefully constructed delusion of genuine kindness. The venom of her words, rather than his intended poison, floods his veins. He hears the bitterness in her voice, the seeds of suspicion that are taking root in the minds of those he sought to save. His rage, momentarily diverted from Robert, flares with a fresh intensity. As they enter the cottage, a playful blur of fur darts ahead of them. Harry, Victoria's dog, bounding into the house, his tail wagging excitedly, oblivious to the deadly drama unfolding. The unexpected intrusion shatters John's carefully laid plan. Harry, with an instinctual sense of danger, begins to bark frantically, his barks echoing through the cottage, a cacophony of canine alarm. John, his cover blown, knows he cannot act. The element of surprise, his most potent weapon, is gone. He shrinks further into the shadows, his face a mask of thwarted fury, the syringe now a useless weight in his trembling hand. He curses the dog, curses Victoria for her inconvenient doubt, curses Robert for simply existing. His plan, meticulously crafted, has been thwarted by a dog. The sheer indignity of it fuels his desperate need to escape, to regain control of his narrative. He slips out of Keeper's cottage, a ghost of his former, grandiose self. The taste of failure, bitter and unexpected, coats his tongue. He needs a new plan, a new escape route, and he needs it now. His mind, always calculating, turns to his last, desperate leverage, Caleb Milligan. He heads for the depot, a place of industry and anonymity, a fitting backdrop for his final, desperate maneuver. Caleb, meanwhile, is a man torn. The weight of John's blackmail, the chilling secret of Anthony Fox's body, presses down on him like a physical burden. He arrives at the depot, ostensibly for work, but his mind is elsewhere, replaying Ruby's tear-filled confession of killing her rapist father, Anthony Fox, and John's casual offer to dispose of the body. It was a moment of desperate relief, a terrifying alliance that has now become his undoing. He sees John emerge from the shadows, a predatory glint in his eyes, and a cold dread washes over him. John's face, usually composed, is now etched with a desperate, frantic energy. "Caleb," John hisses, his voice a low, dangerous whisper, "I need your help. Get me out of the country." Caleb's blood runs cold. He stares at John, the man who had befriended him, who had offered his twisted help, now revealing the full extent of his malevolence. Nate's killer, Caleb thinks, a wave of disgust washing over him. The image of Kane's grief-stricken face, the unwavering loyalty of the Dingle family, flashes before his eyes. He knows he would never be forgiven if he were to aid John. But John, sensing Caleb's hesitation, plays his trump card. "Don't forget, Caleb," he sneers, his voice laced with chilling menace, "I know where Anthony's body is. One phone call, and Ruby's murder conviction is a done deal. Your precious family." Shattered. Caleb feels a punch to the gut. The dilemma is agonizing. Ruby, his beloved, languishing in prison, her life destroyed, or allowing a ruthless killer, a man who delights in inflicting pain and then playing the hero, to escape justice. The scales of his moral compass are violently swinging. He would do anything to protect Ruby, his fierce love for her overriding all other considerations. But the thought of letting Nate's killer go free, knowing the pain he has inflicted on his community, on his own family, sickens him. The hours crawl by, each moment a torment for Caleb. He struggles to come to a decision, the opposing forces of family loyalty and moral obligation tearing him apart. He knows he can't confide in Kane, or Moira, or any of the other Dingles. The secret of Anthony Fox's body, meticulously kept by John, is a deadly weapon pointed directly at Ruby. He paces his office at the depot, the silence amplifying the frantic whispers of his conscience. Later that evening, as darkness once again descends upon Emmerdale, Ruby, her face etched with concern, finds Caleb attempting to sneak out. His evasive demeanor, the furtive glances he casts around him, immediately raise her suspicions. "Caleb? Where are you going?" she demands, her voice sharp with apprehension. He tries to dismiss her, to offer a vague excuse, but Ruby, knowing him intimately, senses the profound distress emanating from him. Her eyes narrow, a flicker of fear mingling with her growing suspicion. She knows he's hiding something terrible. The episode culminates in a terrifying crossroads for Caleb. He's caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. John, desperate and dangerous, holds his family's fate in his hands. Ruby, instinctively sensing his turmoil, pushes for answers, threatening to unravel the delicate web of secrets he's desperately trying to maintain. The final scene shows Caleb's face, a mask of desperate anguish, as he looks from John's hidden location, a desperate plea for escape in his eyes, to Ruby's concerned, questioning gaze. The weight of his choice, a choice that will either save his wife or condemn him in the eyes of his family, hangs heavy in the air. The consequences of this decision will irrevocably alter the course of their lives, and the very future of Emmerdale. And as John, unseen, watches Caleb's torment, a chilling smile plays on his lips. His twisted game of hero and victim is far from over. The stage is set for a heart-stopping confrontation, a desperate race against time, and a battle for the very soul of a family.